အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါ Mr. MMA 27 YouTube channel လေးကနေပြီးတော့ပြန်လည်ကြိုဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်အခုပဲမနေ့ဖြန်ထိုးတက်တော်ရမယ့် UFC Fight Night ပွဲစဉ်အတွက် fighter တွေအားလုံး official weight ချိန်ပြီးတော့ face off ပြုလုပ်သွားကြပါပြီဆိုတော့ပြောနေတာကြားတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ခုပဲကြည့်ကြည့်လိုက်ကြမယ် Let's go
7 horas da noite, o Brasil vai estremecer. Almeida versus Lewis na luta principal da noite. Pressure, Derrick. Yeah, I've gotten to know Mark quite very well in the last couple of years. He finished up his camp at the Goat Shed in Miami, where you can find me putting up work. I cornered work for a fight in Germany, so I've done a lot of work with him. He's one of the most explosive guys that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Look at him, just taking this all in for the crowd. You gotta love what Mark does. I love it.
He has remained there for 18 years, training with some of the best in the world.
5 first-round finishes for Kawe Fernandez. And Casey, very animated here in the stare down.
7 horas da noite na Fight Pass.
We're one stare down in. Mick Maynard has his hands full.
And here she comes, the standout wrestler. She was on the national team in Mexico. She was a 7-time national champion in Mexico. And I just love those stats when you're like a 7-time anything, because I could never do that. The homegirl's got a neck tattoo. And that always impresses me when anybody can have a neck tattoo. Because I got a tattoo a couple weeks ago. And I told the lady, I said, look, you got 30 minutes to get this done. And I'm getting about this chair. But she's got a neck tattoo, a tremendous head and arm throw, and she's ready to fight.
E agora, sua adversária,
came in very heavy. You can't come in 3 pounds overweight and expect to look very professional in that way. You have to show up one way. So that's what happened. She's heavy, and that will help her because this is a grappling style matchup. Both of these ladies like to grapple. And if you got that extra weight, how much energy did you save not cutting that extra 5 pounds? That's a big deal. Look at the size difference. It's huge. That's a big advantage.
30% of her purse has been docked for missing weight by 3 pounds. She competed on this season of Dana White's Contender Series.
Recebam Denise Gomez!
Well, Denise Gomez said the weight cut went really well for her. She said maybe because I cut my hair. I wanted it to be this color, but I wanted it to be long, and it didn't look good, so I cut it. Don't worry, guys. She's a barber in her spare time. She's just 23 years old, the 13th youngest fighter on the roster. Well-rounded, started Muay Thai at 5 years old, then added jiu-jitsu at 9. This is one of her biggest tests against Angela Hill, and she respects Angela for what she's done, but she's ready to level up and notch her third
E
straight
agora,
win.
sua adversária, Angela Overkill! A big test for her because she says she loves the fight, she loves the consistency, she loves her job, she loves learning because that's been important to her. She's been on the receiving end. The bad end of the receiving end was 16.5 decision losses. So leveling up has been her thing so that she wouldn't have to fall to a split decision loss again.
23 fights in her UFC career, the most for a female fighter in UFC history. I love the comp to Cal Ripken.
Modestas Bukauskas, recebam the Bout Gladiator, Modestas Bukauskas.
Well, Modestas Bukauskas has been a pro since 2015. He's a former 2-time Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion. His first fight was in the height of COVID, July 2020 at Fight Island. He told us yesterday that this fight, he peaked exactly at the right time. His cardio, strength, everything there. Admits he peaked a little early in his previous camp. Said he's ready to
Feel
go.
that level of pressure. It's almost easier to go to any other organization and be at ease. So now he's here. He knows what it looks like. He's in his hometown. He's in shape. He has a 3-1 amateur record before he got to 9-0. So he's actually got 13 fights of experience. And he trained with another man on this card, Zaleski Elizu. So he's got a training partner that's on this card that's ready to go. So you know he's going to be in shape.
Vitor Petrino, one of a number of Contender Series fighters on this card here in Brazil.
Zaleski dos Santos, recebam Eliseu Capoeira! Oh man, this dude is as legit as they come here in Brazil. He has a highlight reel spinning wheel kick over the current welterweight champion Sean Strickland. Strickland. In 13 fights in the UFC, he's only got 3 losses and 2 split decisions. He's a couple of judges' decisions away from really being a top contender. But at 36 years old, he's got to step on the gas and he can't afford to make no mistakes.
He's striking everywhere that he's gone. He hasn't lost in so long. The confidence is through the roof. I saw him cutting weight while I got to get in a run. And this man was running the whole time, hitting pads, looked very, very sharp, didn't look depth, like he didn't lose energy. So he's very ready for this matchup, and this is going to be one of the fights to watch. Don't blink.
Coming in on that 25-win streak, you do not see that very often, and he is 3-0 in the UFC.
Recebam Jailton Bahia Gruszewski.
Gruszewski called him, said he got the call in the middle of the night on Monday, but he missed the call. It wasn't until Tuesday morning when he got to the gym that he found out he was actually in the UFC. He told me this morning the first thing he did was step on the scale because he was walking around a little heavier than he had. He'd been working on building muscle, bulking up his strength since his time on Dana White's Contender Series. He also told me that he showed everything that he wanted to show during that experience, and it felt really good when Dana said he was ready for the big show. Now he wants to prove the boss right here.
He's got awesome grappling transitions, but you can see in his fights, his stand-up is not lacking at all. With 11 submissions to his name, 3 rear naked chokes, 6 arm bars, triangles, and guillotines. I mean, he's well-versed, well-rounded black belt, and that's really where he shines when I watch his fights.
And no more blonde hair for him. He's changed it up a little bit.
The whole team can look. Alabama, no.
St. Barber, too.
And by the way, for Gruszewski, he fought on season 7, week 7. So it wasn't that long ago, just a few weeks ago that he fought.
And he lives right here in Sao Paulo and said his wife will be here to see him make his debut. Good stuff.
Ele enfrenta Armen Petrosian. Recebam Armen Superman Petrosian.
So Petrosian got to fight somebody on this card, and it's Cal. So it's, excuse me, Kaio. And on this card, that's where he's looking to fill the gap, is that grappling. He got a little bit out-grappled there, but he comes from a karate background since 20 years old. Then he added Muay Thai to that background. So he's got a very unconventional style. He uses his range so well in combos, and his movement with his footwork really stifles his opponent. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matches up.
Watching him transition into MMA from when he first jumped over from BJJ. Now I'm not trying to dress like I go and tell his story. When Jonathan Woodley was training for Damian Maia, I was picking Rodolfo Vieira's brain to help deal with that half guard of Damian Maia. So I have to thank Rodolfo for that, and I hope that the Brazilian fans ain't too mad at him.
And you talk about the BJJ expertise, 8 of his 9 wins by submission for Vieira.
Os Magomedov recebam Abus Magomedov. Is there a more intimidating name outside of Dominic Cruz in the UFC than Magomedov? Well, the UFC thinks so well because they gave this man, they slipped him right into a main event spot against Sean Strickland in just his 2nd UFC fight. And it didn't even realize his name was Magomedov. I didn't realize his name was Magomedov because I thought he'd been here forever. But he put his whole foot in Justin Stone's foot, home face, in 19 seconds, knocked him out before that title shot. This guy is the truth, has a tremendous amount of experience.
With becoming a father, he had a son, Liam, just 6 weeks ago. He said he was smack dab in the middle of camp. 2 weeks after he was born, he headed out to Las Vegas where he trained at Extreme Sport with that man, Sean Strickland. And I'm sure he got some tips from the champ himself on this matchup.
He's also going to have that new dad strength as well on Saturday night.
Yeah, he was pushing the stroller in the fighter meeting.
I thought that he was going to have a size disadvantage in terms of height. But it looked pretty similar right there.
Love the intensity. Those two.
No doubt.
I loved listening to the confidence this man had in the meetings because he got to train with the former champion John Jones. And I think that also alludes to why he's been picking up his strength and conditioning to 3 times a week. I mean, if you watch, John Jones was trying to get his size up to heavyweight, and he did so. Well, this man was training alongside him. You know, he's got super good transitions with the striking to stuffing the takedowns. But the real thing that interests me is his favorite grappling technique is a triangle. I want to see this guy go. I want to see him go from guard to a triangle.
American top team, and he told me that Rodrigo took this matchup to fight here at home. He's never fought in front of an open crowd here in Brazil. He's Dana White's Contender Series and the pandemic, so it's his dream to fight in front of these Rockets fans, and it's coming through here this weekend.
Well, Heidi, be very careful as you're walking back down to the arena floor through these crazy fans, because I know you have some work to do.
Recebam Nicolas Davis Dynamite Dalby. When I look at this man's resume, it says BJJ brown belt, karate green belt. What are you talking about? That does not do this man justice for what he is capable of inside that octagon. I came down here to Brazil 2015 in Goiânia, Brazil. He fought Alexander Alexis dos Santos. I remember watching that fight thinking, man, can this guy fight? He is the future of the division. Since then, he's been on a pretty good run. Now he's back. We'll take it on a tough test. I am so 170 and a half. 77 quilos e 300 gramas para Marretinha. Esse é o seu co-main event. Categoria dos 77 quilos.
A perfect 15-0 record for Bonfim will certainly be tested against Danish Dynamite.
Talking about Derrick Lewis, we're talking about one of the most prolific heavyweight knockout artists in the game. I think Daniel Cormier is probably the best grappler that ever gifted at heavyweight wrestling. And he's facing Almeida, and DC was able to do well with Derrick Lewis, as we saw early in that fight. He was able to choke him. So I think this is a fight that we're going to see Derrick Lewis meet in the middle, land the big shots, look for the knockout, because if it goes to the grappling, it's a tough fight.
But the Brazilian interpreter, Fabiano Busquets, gave me the science on this guy. Said he comes from Salvador. As you see him dancing around, Salvador is a place that has very high Afro-Brazilian cultural roots. And he says this guy is made to be a star. Not only can he fight, but he's got the personality to be a star. Now, for me, I look at him, and I want his body type. I say, look at his body type. I need that body type. I can't have it. I don't even think I have the body type of his grandfather. But listen, this guy is here is a serious contender in the heavyweight division.
Give yourself a break, Dean. You're in shape, man. Come on.
Yeah,
I see your muscles poking out this vest you're wearing.
Sexiest man alive, Dean Thomas.
ဆိုတော့အားလုံးမနေ့ပြန်ပွဲစဉ်နဲ့ထိုးတက်တဲ့ခါကြလို့ရှင်ပြန်လည်ဆုံးတွေ့မယ်နော်
MMA နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့သတင်းအကြောင်းအရာတွေကိုအချိန်နဲ့တပြေးညီတင်ဆက်ပေးနေရမို့လို့ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ YouTube channel လေးကိုလည်း like and subscribe လုပ်တော့ပေးဖို့အားလုံးကိုတောင်းဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်အားလုံးကိုကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်